If they ain't cooking, I don't want it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Ins and Out with D podcast with your boy DT. Once again, like I always tell you, click like, subscribe to the channel, and also get them views up. Please get the views up. But you already know what we're here for. This is a breaking news pod. Probably a day later. I'm gonna be completely honest. I had to do a live stream last night with Red Zone the Lab, but this is a breaking news pod for the Washington Commanders, as the Washington Commanders have traded for Deebo Samuels. Uh, it is not really official right now due to pending physical, but we can all bake that in that Deebo Samuels is out of San Francisco. He will become a Washington Commander on March 12th when the new league year starts. And here are my reactions to it. We heard a lot of rumblings and stuff about uh, Deebo this year, but also even to go even further, even before the season, the writing was on the wall when the San Francisco 49ers drafted Ricky Pearsall and crowning from the University of Arizona to add to the wide receiver room. And I remember on Instagram that podcast, me, C. Henry, and Lady E, we had Snoogans up there, who's a 49er fan, diehard, discuss some of the things going on with the Ayuk at the time he was holding out. But, there was definitely some consideration that this could be Deebo's last year with the 49ers. Now, fast forward now, 2025, the Washington Commanders coming off an NFC Championship appearance with Jaden Daniels in his rookie season. Adam Peters comes from San Francisco. Anthony Lynn comes from San Francisco. Who knows him better than those two guys? And I think it's a very good move. At first, I'll be completely honest. When there were talks about Deebo coming to Washington, I wasn't really a big fan of it. But when you have new information, your opinion can change on things. And I think this is a good move. I think it's a good move because when you look at the wide receiver room last year, obviously he'll be the second best wide receiver in the room. And we have not had a guy in the past years who have 700 yards receiving opposite of a Terry. So one that gives another weapon for Jaden Daniels, that gives another guy to go with Terry. Deebo definitely is going to be the underneath guy. He can go for some deep shots as well. But when you look at this move, this benefits the offense that Cliffs want to run. If you look at what Cliff Kingsbury was doing last year in this offense, you see the telescreens, you see the slants, you see the hitches, you see how the movement, the orbit motions, the jet sweeps, the pony personnel. They were trying to use guys like De'Ami Brown and Amaze Zacchaeus in those roles. Now you have a Deebo Samuels who can do those roles as well. So that will take them off of those leashes and allow them to do other things in the offense. Also Eckler as well. Also Eckler was doing a couple of those plays as well. So with a Deebo Samuels, you got a guy who's going to be a utility player and a player that's going to be moved all over the place. He matches what Dan Quinn truly desires, a physical player, a guy that's going to block, a guy who's going to be yards at the catch, who's going to be very physical at the line of scrimmage against other people. He brings that mentality that the Commanders were looking for. And honestly, I think this is a good move. And let's understand this, people. They traded for Deebo Samuels, a former All-Pro, for a 5th round pick. We traded Jahan Dotson, a 1st round pick who after his rookie year struggled. We traded him for a third round pick. So that just tell you the mastermind that Adam Peters is. Adam Peters is a mastermind, and obviously, yes, we did trade it for Marshall Lattimore last year. That trade is still to be really looked at, but I truly expect Marshall to bounce back and have a better season. I think the biggest thing for Marshall has just been injuries, but he flashed some good, but obviously there's a lot of bad last year. But I also think the injury played a big role. A full offseason with this defense, and if they can add another corner on the other side of Marshawn Lattimore, I think this make this defense extremely better. Still got to get some edge rushers. We still got a lot of needs though, but adding Deebo Samuels to this offense, it just got me excited. It got me excited because he's going to be a motivated player. We all know that a lot of people don't see Deebo obviously in the same light with the other wide receivers, and rightfully so. I would agree as well, but he had that crazy 1 year, and ever since then, it's either been injuries or he just has not really been the same guy. So a lot of people are going to be doubting him. He's going to come here motivated. He's going to come in an offense that is going to use his skill sets very well. I'm just very excited for what Cliff Kingsbury is going to do this year. And then this is another thing too that people need to understand. For those people who are looking for a setback or sophomore slump for Jaden Daniels, what you just did, you just added a playmaker that can make one play if it's a 5 yard hitch and turn it into 45 or 60. That's what Deebo can do. We haven't had that in a while. And you have Terry McLaurin. Hopefully they can bring Zach Ertz back, but I would still try to add another tight end or Ben Sinnott takes the next step. The running backs, Brian Robinson. Look, last year, in terms of watching him envision and stuff, Brian Robinson did not look good down the stretch. Running game was a complete struggle. Austin Eckler has been in and out. So Washington is going to draft a running back in this deep running back class, I will say. This is good for Washington. This is definitely good for Washington. I think they're not done at wide receiver either. You only have 3 currently right now. Well, 2. One is pending, and that's Deebo. You have Terry McLaurin pending a Deebo Samuels trade, and Luke McCaffrey. You're going to have to refill that room up. And honestly, it's going to be interesting to see how that room looks. I mean, I think Zamana Zaccheaus will return. I think he'll return. The question mark is going to be the Browns. The question mark is going to be the Browns. And the reason I say that because, yes, De'Ami Brown has had a struggle in his first 4 years in Washington, D.C. This is his best season as an NFL player. And the playoffs just boosted that by a ton. He's a young guy. He's 25 years old, coming off his rookie deal. Depends on what the market sees for him. I could see a team like New England maybe taking a swing, probably a good 12 to 13 plus $1 million to add to their wide receiver room. Like teams are going to need wide receivers because this wide receiver class is very top heavy. And I mean, there's some good second round guys possibly, but I think De'Ami might have a market, and we'll see about that. Noah Brown. I just listened to a pod this morning with John Kime. I would love to have Noah Brown back. The only problem I think will be, like he said, has been injuries. He's recovering from the kidney. Past couple of years he's been injured, but realistically, when you think about it, he was the wide receiver 4 when he was with the Houston Texans. So anytime he had a shot to step up and make plays, he shows that. So I honestly think Noah Brown makes a lot of sense for him to come back, and we'll definitely see with De'Ami. I know a lot of people want De'Ami. Me personally, I'm kind of like in between the middle. Like he can come back, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal if he doesn't come back. I think there's some guys that could do the exact same thing that De'Ami Brown can do, and we'll just see. We'll just see in that room. I know people gonna talk about Crowder. Crowder only came back because of special teams. Honestly, we just need to find someone that can play special teams, dog. Like just being honest. But I think those moves are going to be something that will probably impact the room as well. So they're not done at wide receiver. That's all I got to say right there. They're not done at wide receiver. They're either um, going to bring some of the guys back, and they'll either add a couple of free agents from outside this team, or they will draft a guy maybe on day 2 or day 3. I'm not really worried about Adam Peters when it comes to wide receivers. As you can see, he scouted Deebo when they're at the Senior Bowl. Scouted Ayuk. So I'm not worried. I'm not really worried about the wide receiver room if we had to draft one. I think we can find a reliable guy in that room. But now what this does, it helps with some of the needs. You look at wide receiver. Okay, we're addressing wide receiver. Obviously, offensive line needs to be touched on. Edge rusher obviously needs to be touched on. Corner needs to be touched on. Um, so I think those moves will be coming pretty soon. But this Deebo Samuels trade, man, look, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it an A. I'm gonna give it an A before the effort. I'm gonna give it an A for the fact that you're able to get him on a 5th-round pick, and he's gonna come in motivated. He's gonna come in where you have a Terry McLaurin who's going to take the top off the defense, and it's gonna be a good combination um, in the NFC East. And just the thought of Deebo Samuels with the Washington Commanders, and he already got beat with Philadelphia. Yeah, this is going to be good. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready because this Eagles and Commanders rivalry might be starting to take off for the good. But look, that's all I gotta say, man. I'm very happy about this move. I love it. It's good for this team, and with new information, a wise man opinion must change. I wasn't high on the Deebo thing, but as the week started coming along, I think it just made too much sense for Deebo Samuels to come to the Washington Commanders. But with all that being said, it's your boy DT from the Ins and Out D podcast. I will see you guys next time because now I'm going to have to do a mock draft 2.0 for the Washington Commanders post Deebo Samuels trade. Again, click like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy ZT. Also follow me on Twitter at D Cleveland Jr. Follow me on Instagram, DT_Sensei. And got much more content coming away. Also get ready for the Command Time podcast. We go live on Wednesdays and probably other days as well. So with that being said, it's your boy TT. I'll see you guys next time.
If they ain't cooking, I don't want it.